Doing something a bit different this week. Instead of doing a build, I'm going to showcase a build that I did 16 years ago, way back in 2008. So this is one of the Lego Death Star sets. This is the playset, originally released in 2008. There's an updated version of this that was released in 2016, which had a few more pieces and a few more minifigs, but it looked about the same, had the same play areas that this one showcases. So this is set number 10188. It has 3,803 pieces. The updated model is set number 75159 and has 4,116 pieces. Anyway, what I'm going to do today is just show the overall set. Obviously, I'm not going to show the construction. I'm just going to show the play features of the set. Good luck finding this online. This one is so old that there might be some aftermarket sellers that are selling it, but it's going to be brutally expensive. This set has a ton of actual play features, and you can recreate scenes from the various Star Wars movies. Star Wars episodes 4 and 6 have some play areas in this model. In this first area, it's just the boardroom where Darth Vader has the meeting with his generals and other officers, and where he does his force hold choke on the one fellow. So this one's pretty boring. It's just got a boardroom table. It has a bunch of swiveling chairs. I've got the one minifig in here. I'm not sure if this is Grand Moff Tarkin. As you can see in the background, there's an elevator in the middle. I'll show that a bit later, because that elevator actually works. Just some random details around the sides. Nothing too exciting here. Now the next area is the control room for firing the main laser, the main primary weapon of the Death Star. Got a mouse droid here. Just another random equipment cart. And it's gonna be a little hard to see, but there's an interesting feature here where you can pull out. There's a display that shows the path of the Death Star coming from around the moon to focus on the planet. So on the back side you have just the planet, and here's the tracking. And this slides into this area right here. We have one guard at the control center. This control panel swivels. This one's fixed, but if I turn this knob, it'll just come into view. There's the tip of the main weapon that can be raised or lowered using this knob here. Next area is the droid repair shop. So I've got just a random droid here, another swivel chair, a bunch of tools, stormtrooper helmets. I'm not sure why they're in the droid repair shop. And a table here. Actually, this might be an infirmary too. I thought it was pretty sure it's a droid repair shop. There's an R2 droid there. And also what we have here is this knob with the string is what actually runs the elevator. I believe I've got the elevator at the top. The minifig's out of focus because I'm having trouble getting the focus going on this camera setting. So if I turn this knob, which way? Yeah. Turn this knob, you can just see that the elevator will go down, and that goes down through all the levels of this build. I'll keep them at the top for now. I don't like strings so much in Lego sets, but they have been used, and it's nice to have that elevator feature going up and down. In this bay we have some turbo lasers, which are used to shoot at anybody flying around the outside of the Death Star. They swivel in unison, so they're attached with a common assembly. But each one of them has their own gear that can raise and lower the turbo lasers. And they can be raised straight up or straight down. Same thing over here. The other way to turn these is with this handle down here. I'm not sure if it's showing up. By turning this left and right, I can turn the turbo lasers. This scene is the Emperor's throne room. I've got Luke and Darth Vader doing their battle. There's a hole in the floor here, which you could throw Darth Vader in, which happens in the movie. There's a collapsible shelf here. Well, if you really push it, it's collapsible. This is a bit of a play feature. And here's our Emperor with his force lightning coming out of his hands. Up here we have just a general control console, nice blue translucent bricks. The Emperor's throne can rotate, and we have a couple guards. Now, there's a lot going on in this next scene. This is the prison cell where Leia is kept captive until Chewbacca and Han can come save her. Stormtrooper, Chewbacca, Han Solo, Luke, and then Leia I have in the jail cell. Now you can pop off this wall, and you can see I've got Leia in there. You can also bring over this interrogation light, and here's the interrogation droid over here. Put the wall back on. Now there's a handle here which raises and lowers Leia's jail cell door. Behind Han Solo, there's another knob here, it'll be hard to turn, which raises the trash compactor chute, which they dive into. I can throw Han Solo in there, and I'll show coming up in a bit that he falls into the trash compactor down below. Close that back up again. Now it's hard to see. I'm going to try to get a shot of this. There's some good detail in here. And of course it's done with stickers. So you can see right there, end of my finger, that's the end of the hallway for the prison cell. And the way the sticker and the Lego pieces have been put in, it makes it look like it goes on for infinity. Or at least for a long way. I just thought that was a really cool, small bit of detail. Now this next scene is the main Death Star laser control room. A little hard to see because of my lighting. It's got shadows casting on the inside. But here's our laser, which again was turned by this knob up here. Over on the side, there's a control panel, and there's a knob up here, which is hard to show without my hand being in the way. You can just see to the left, it opens up that door. Again, all these small play features, well, it's a play set. You expect there to be play features, but they're simple, but it's nice detail. The actual laser assembly itself has got some quite, I won't say overly complicated mechanism in there, but there's a clear gearbox that operates that raising and lowering of the laser. This next area is the launch bay where they keep Darth Vader's TIE Advanced ship. Got a random pilot. There's a handle down here which I can raise and lower. A bit of a noise. I can raise and lower this platform here. And if I lower it, it gives me room to move Darth Vader's ship around. And Darth Vader's ship can actually come off this assembly, so you can fly it away and play around with it. This just has this hook system here that it sits on. The TIE Advance itself, for a small build, is actually quite well done. I've got C-3PO and R2-D2 there, just again, nowhere else to put them. On the right side of the screen is just that door I had shown earlier. That's the other side of that door. There's a lot of stickers in this set, as could probably be expected, and they're to give the usual Star Wars aesthetic. They're wall panel lights. So that's the second level. There's one level left. Here's the bottom level of the Death Star set. This first scene is just a general maintenance shop. We can see it's where the bottom of the elevator that went up to the TIE Advanced Bay. That's where the bottom of the elevator comes out. You can see in the background the elevator in the back in the central core. There's a random piece of equipment here. This can move around. If I bring it all the way down, it gives you a better view of the elevator in the back. So here's the small elevator. Get that out of the way. I love that sound. I don't know what makes that. And run this all the way to the bottom. Show the elevator coming down. You can keep going all the way to the bottom, but there's really nothing on the very, very bottom level. Bring it back up to about there. This area, it's the classic scene where Luke swings across the chasm to save Leia. Now I don't have Leia on here, I just have Luke. But he's got a nice little rope here that he can swing on. Again, we get these nice details with the stickers on the side. You can just see the tip of the stormtrooper's head right there. That's the very, very bottom level of the elevator. Now this next scene is where Obi-Wan Kenobi goes to turn off the tractor beam controls. It's smaller in area than the other scenes. Just a small platform and then Obi-Wan and some controls that he can turn up or down here. So you pretty much can recreate almost everything in the movies. They've shown the major scenes. Now here we have the trash compactor room, even including the little trash monster that goes in the trash compactor. I'm going to take him out for a minute, put him down here. So I'm going to drop, before I showed when I was showing the prison room, I'm going to drop Han Solo down in there. You see he falls down. Stand him up just to put him in the middle of the room. And with this handle here, you can move the trash compactor in and out. So not the smooth side-to-side motion that you see in the movie, but for this playset, that's a neat feature to be able to do. In this room we have another laser assembly. It can swivel. I don't have anybody sitting on the controls. It's got some good detail, and it also has a launchable projectile. I haven't used this in probably 16 years, so maybe the spring won't work. Well, no, it still works really well. Surprised me how well that worked. I really launched out there. That's the only launchable projectile in the set. So here's the very bottom of the set. No real play areas down here. It's really just, it was needed to be installed to get the overall shape of the set above. But the LEGO designers went ahead and put some detail down here. So just some canisters, equipment canisters. Spin this around. The bottom level of our elevator, which you can just barely see in there. There you can see the bottom of the elevator there. And one last random droid just walking around in the bottom. Well, that's it. So obviously I've had this set on display for 16 years. So I like it enough to keep it displayed for that long. It's a bit of a bugger to clean, that's for sure, because of all the exposed studs and all the different nooks and crannies. It's unfortunate you can't get this set anymore. I'm not even sure if the one that was issued in 2016 is available. I don't think so. Lego sets tend to only be available for 2 to 3 years, and then they become discontinued. Now I have a second Death Star set, which isn't a play set, it's just a display model. And it is just the partially finished Death Star from Return of the Jedi. That I don't have assembled. I would have to build that, so that might be a build video one day. Again, this week I just wanted to do something different. The one thing I did learn this week, I learned how to manually focus my camera. I've got two cameras. I have a webcam that I use, and I have a Canon EOS 60D, older camera, but it works. And in doing this shot, I was using the autofocus for the first part, and then during the second part, I accidentally turned something and I was able to manually focus. I'm like, well, I guess I should really read the instruction manual on how to use this camera. But I know for next time. That's what I like about doing these videos. I learn something every time I do it. I'm not the best builder, I'm not the best videoer, I'm not the best YouTuber, but I have fun doing it and I learn a lot. Thank you so much for watching. Not sure what I'm going to do next week, but I'll have something new for next week for sure. Thanks again. See you next time.